It is time for Master Division playoffs. We're about to start here in the next 10 minutes or so. And we are going to run through the entire gambit of this 8-team bracket all through Sunday. All by Sunday, should I say. You know, top two, whoever makes it to grand finals this weekend, who, on that final day, gets a shot at OWCS. We'll play in promotion relegation matches. In EMEA, it'll be against Frosttails and One Dep. We'll get a chance to face off against those two teams for their shot at OWCS for Stage 3. Here, let's just go ahead and pull up our bracket. That is my Twitter. Yeah, it's the kind of day I've got my kettle in my office so that I can just, it's going now because I know I'm just going to need tea constantly throughout today. Look at it, GassT3 taking on Anomaly here to start things off. I'm getting ahead of myself. 8-team bracket, quarterfinals. Well, obviously, we're starting here. We will have semifinals on stream today as well as lower bracket round 1. So the rest will be on main broadcast, which I believe will include lower bracket quarters, lower bracket semi, and upper bracket finals on Saturday, and then lower bracket finals and grand finals on Sunday, which I will be casting, which is amazing. It's EMEA, I will say, has felt a little bit more dominant. Vision and Arius have kind of been one step above everybody else, right? It's just kind of felt that way all season. Vision have, sometimes look uncoordinated, but then you have Violet and Choice at 1 just pop off and just take over. Let's talk about our two teams a little bit. So, first off, head-to-head. Well, I want to say this was a 3-0, but I could be, yeah. No, this was a dominant 3-0. This is also another team kind of similar to Vision, where sometimes they look a little discombobulated. Sometimes it looks like they're kind of going in two separate directions when we've had them on stream. And particularly when things kind of got rough there in the middle, right? Where we had the org that shall not be mentioned come in and try to screw over some of our amazing T2 players. And things got a little rough there, right? But they're able to bounce back. They're able to put it together. They finish the season strong. But those two losses in the middle do show a little vulnerability here. And I think that little stint is what separated them from Arius. Now, they did lose their head-to-head to Arius. They end up kind of dropping down a couple of notches, right? And they end up in 4th place. I thought Anomaly and Arius, honestly, would probably be switched here. That Arius and Quit would probably be, sharing 3rd and 4th, and Anomaly and Vision would be the head and shoulders, a couple of games separating them from the rest of the pack. It ends up being the other way around. So can GassT3, GassT3 ran into this team early in the season when it felt like they had a little bit more momentum behind them. But back to GassT3. This is a team that has been around, literally since day 1. They were under a different name in Season 1, but have been GassT3 since Season 2. Now, there have been some roster changes, but you've had, Siva Art, and I believe Fake Nevix also are old school members of the squad, and then Bones as well. Bones has since moved in. It's hard, you can't see it at the bottom of the screen. But Bones has since moved into a coaching role this season. So we saw Bones playing last season. Has shifted into more of a staff role, which is kind of cool. I love seeing the players find their place as far as moving into coaching and still using the brain, still using the skills that they had developed over their time as a player. So cool shift. We've been seeing a lot more of that recently. Oh, I see a Tracer bad coming through. So we're starting to get picks here from this first map. Okay, so it was GassT3 actually got first pick. I was thinking High Seed would get first pick here. Interesting. Okay. Well, we're going to get an Ilios ban. We're also going to get Anomaly starting in the red outline. So let me go ahead and get that swapped up for you. And we had a Diva ban there from Anomaly. The Anomaly loss. Really good, really important little tidbit here. John Witch just reached out and reminded me that the Anomaly loss was a forfeit because they didn't have enough players. And the team wasn't able to reschedule. And so it wasn't an earned win. That was just an unfortunate circumstance. So that is a really good little asterisk there on that record. I appreciate the reminder there, John Witch. Let's see. It is time for map 1. Let's get into your playoffs. Hey, I got the bands right, but I think I swore I hit side swap. Alrighty. It's all right. Hey, at least I realize it now and not when we're knee deep into the map. Of course, Anomaly, kind of a Hey, who's who? I've been calling them an all-star team all season long. I mean, it was a squad form, kind of picked up some of the most standout members across not just EMEA Path to Pro, but pulling King in from what is now the Nightmare Squad over in AOWCS. Gonna start us off here on the King. You get a little bit more of a, I mean, in between the two looks, I guess this is the more traditional with the very fast hazard comp, a good stage, and they're able to find a kill on the Siva art immediately. And see King pursuing that. We do get a flip in the back line there from GassT3, as they felt their only option is to take what they have remaining and move on to the point and see what they can scrounge. It looks like it's going to be, you know, roughly 10 or 15%. Kill on to Havix. Baxter trying to support Fake Nevix through this engagement. The Sin Reaper comp, obviously a very, you know, I alluded to how the intrigue of this composition as it being the less of the two standard comps. Obviously, the Reaper is the outlier here. And Reaper got buffed recently. Didn't Reaper get buffed going into season 17? You know, it's not a buff I consider a real standout at the time, but now I'm, barely able to make it back on. But this comp is going to be so difficult to play against what is a very fast hazard comp. You can see Fake Nevix kind of getting separated from the squad. We have it trying to use the teleporter to close that gap. But the whole team has to really coalesce onto a target here from GassT3 to make this composition work. And of course, while at the same time keeping a Curie Juno backline safe. That was a crazy aerial 180 downpour thrown in from Crocs. Don't know where EGS is. Kitsune, I assume it's all point. Fight taking place up top. King's gonna pull out the blade, cuts through C-Heart. Just nullifies the road paved here from GassT3. I say that, back in the back line, I mean, at the end of the fight, Havoc and Nevix are able to fight too, with that Kitsune rush. Not much support left in the fight. Baxter trying to keep everybody alive at the sound barrier. Oh, Havoc forced off the Death Blossom. King actually goes down. And the sound barrier now fading. Still, there's signs of life from GassT3 on this point. There's an orbital ray invested to move him on to the objective, and Linrax is able to find Jotowich through it all. I mean, it felt like just through sheer force of will. I mean, honestly, I thought King had won it for him, just devaluing the finds the 2 kills in that blade, well timed. But the very tail end of that Kitsune rush, we see Havoc and Fake Nevix able to trade 2 back and kept it really scrappy. Ended up surviving through a lot of that, and first real fight win here for GassT3. Well played. What's up, Looter? I appreciate you being here, my friend. Crocs leap across. Okay, Sim wall to separate this. What can we do with it? You see the push coming through up front. C-Heart is right there alongside Fake Nevix. Able to hunt down the Lucio, get a lot of the speed and disengage out of this comp. A really good job from GassT3. They struggled to do that exact thing and kind of get everybody on the front line, really create havoc there for the fast-moving hazard composition out of Anomaly. But that was good teleport up top. King's able to escape. Baxter beats EGS to that sound barrier, but it was a good disengage. Now the re-engage. Downpour is blocked by the Suzu, but that means there's not a Suzu left to try to keep everybody alive. Through the Kitsune rush, pushed off the side. Crocs is going to take Baxter out of the fight entirely. Dives in to try to find Siva art. Siva's moved up to the high ground. King's got their second blade of the fight after finishing off Fake Nevix. This map is drawn out to a 99-99. And this time King's blade will put the nail in the coffin. It's an opening round win here for Anomaly. But I'll be if GassT3 didn't keep it damn close.
Ready for battle.
Ooh, let me pour my tea. My kettle finished. I told you I was gonna have the movement in here. I gotta have my green jasmine pearl. It's the core of good casting. It's good tea.
4, 3, 2.
All right, sorry.
Round 2. Capture the objective.
Okay, so with the Tracer banned out, King really put on a show there with the Genji in the first round. Returns in here with a farm as we head into well. And this is, I think, really where the Diva ban is going to start coming into play. And then especially if GassT3 are able to send us over to Lighthouse. Then that Diva ban could really become a factor here for GassT3. So the positioning and the teleporters of prime importance. Just going over to Cage to force King out. Looks like King got stunned. Perhaps a jab there from Nevix, but lands on the right side of the tracks, returns fire. Hits a good direct onto Siva Art. Throws in more damage down on the back, but they're able to swift step out. Nevix and Havoc trading 2-1 back the other direction. It's a +1 to GassT3 on this point. We did get Anomaly with some early percentage already building through this opening fight, but it does get flipped. Meanwhile, Crocs and EGS find both supports. Crocs now just backing away with the block. Swift step in from EGS, and they're going to join Crocs up on the high ground. Meanwhile, this fight continues. King drops down in alongside Crocs, able to clean Siva Art out of that back mini room. And then everybody collapses onto the tank to confirm this fight win and flip the point back over to Anomaly's favor. Yep, random screenshot to lock in. Okay, I've got to release that folder. I should just release that folder each season. Like, here's my Season 5 random screenshot folder. Woo! There's a name I haven't said yet today. Zoro, one of the hottest hit scans coming up from, this EMEA Path to Pro system. And, I mean, it felt like on the precipice of greatness since I started casting FACEIT. And it's just never quite found the right home. There's been some, on a couple squads there with the Tori. But make no mistake. That is a terrible teleporter. I don't think that's where that was supposed to go. King drops the barrages. Everybody tries to leave that room. The teleporter ends up just clipping the side of the door frame. And King reads it and takes full advantage. Where are we going? Okay, we're going to get a little maintenance check on the shuttle. That's a teleporter out the back alley. King's got him on lock. Crocs may have ended up behind the fight, but is able to catch up. King gets 3. Downpour able to catch Leterax, and King with the beautiful direct. Not going to miss those. 99-16 fight. And there's the cleanup from Anomaly, as they will claim map 1 here in the upper bracket quarterfinals. It's a good start to an important weekend here for this squad, as all of these players looking to get back into... yeah, I guess, actually. Is that right? All of them are looking back into OWCS? Oh, look at that. Look at that timing. Look at that timing. I mean, Crocs kind of like earned a spot in OWCS and then came to play with this squad. This is definitely a team that feels like it's got that fire in them. Circle Royale pick for a band. Here from GassT3. We are going to get Gas starting on the attack as well. Go and get that plugged in for you, and I'll give you some stats. What stands out for that map? I mean, Crocs not dying. That stands out. Crocs is currently 23-0. Let's go, Crocs. Let's go. Okay, we are wasting no time getting into this second map. Love to see it. Thank you, copyright-free music. We are done with you for now. What was that second band? We had a fire band out from GassT3 or Mantra band here from Anomaly. Let's get into map 2. Those who snow, says John Owens. Snow? I live in Texas. I know nothing about snow.
Ready for battle.
Hi, Jess. I feel like you're looking at me. We're looking at an Orisa. Orisa Genji backline. We're going with the Bap Juno here. So we're not favoring the Yari or any life or anything like that. We're sticking with a lot of sustain from both of our supports for this defense. Putting Zaro on that Freya. Help control the long range. We're getting the same GassT3 comp. Similar GassT3 comp. We do have Linrack swapping over to a Baptiste. But Steve Art and Havoc going back into their Sim Reaper ways. And been able to buy a lot of space initially. This is going to be the Shadow Step dropping right on to EGS. That's going to force out Immortality Field. Wraith Form U. Zaro is going to give chase. Is that going to... Ooh, it's got Havoc cornered. Meanwhile, back on the front line, Crocs has been forced all the way back. That Sim Beam charged up, melted Crocs' health bar. But King comes in with a pressure relief valve. 3-piece in the back line while all that's happening. And King stabilizes this defense here for Anomaly. Zakiyar, thank you for the follow. Crocs just immortality. Yeah. Absolutely. We had a few follows coming. We had NWISA as well as Remidu also come through with follows. Thank you so much. This AM Matrix could just make life so difficult. Yeah, I mean, you've got a Zorobola shot as well. I mean, you know, if you land that, great. But this AM Matrix can control so much space. We are going to get... Yeah, I was going to say, Anomaly's backing up and trying to bait this. And that's going to be the Green Goblin. That's the Dragon Blade combined with the Terra Surge. Thank you, Ice Gnome, for the nomenclature. Thank you, Anomaly, for the clean fight win. And the AJ call from EGS as Linrax does not get their Ant Matrix out. For those of y'all keeping track, Coach Cass was supposed to join me here today, where we learned about the Green Goblin. But unfortunately, was just not feeling well. Got a cold and sore throat or something. Didn't, you know, obviously, sore throat, you don't want to be talking for hours on end. So, yeah, so there you go. Shout out, Coach Cass, belated happy birthday. Hope you're feeling better. We got we got beams thrown in from both sides. Orbital rays on the battlefield. A lot of lasers, and Steve is pointing one directly at Crocs to meld through the Orisa's robotics. Now, EGS kind of starts outside. Good shot. Great follow from King. This is going to get the dash reset. King trying to back away. That deflect not much good against the Symmetra beam. And this leaves the back line so vulnerable there to Havoc and those Hellfire shotguns. Crocs will buy a little bit of time on this Doomfist. Not a whole lot, it looks like. There's the cleanup. There's the cap. This is an interesting gap to cross with the teleporter. You only have a couple of options. You King too strong. And seems like Anomaly are starting to take those away little by little. Croc's making this hazard swap. Trying to threaten this backline. It has to play around Immortality Field. Oh! King got that blade canceled by a beautiful Death Blossom. I was watching the wrong half of the fight. Sorry, y'all. As Havoc and King went toe-to-toe with their ultimates, and Havoc comes out on top. The sacrifice play takes down 2 and removes that deadly Dragon Blade, which we've seen King wing several fights already in this series. Now the Ant Matrix from Linrax actually gets this one on the battlefield and should be able to hold the line. A couple of kills in the feed. 2 points on the board. Pretty smooth push. I talked about how you have limited options on, ways to teleport in and kind of circumvent the defense. They needed, just wait until the very last moment. Send Havoc and Fake Nivix into the back line. Well timed. Quick Game should be getting streamed. I heard there's at least 3 co-streamers that were covering that match. That's why I'm covering this match. I heard there were at least 3 people that were covering that match. And maybe check Caster Boomstocks. Like, it may not be an English channel. Like, maybe it might be a French broadcast. I know, Spec is still traveling. Spec is in Jamaica. For those of you who's wondering, by the way, I know there's a lot of, and I know Spectre has definitely earned a spot for, main broadcaster EMEA. For those of you wondering why Spectre wasn't on that list, I think one of the big reasons is dude's out of town. He's on vacation. I mean, he's going to be returning at some point during the day tomorrow, but, right? I mean, anyway. 2.5 to go, and GassT3 have already rounded this final corner. That's going to teleport up to the high ground. And more orbital ray thrown down low. Looks like the teleport was just a fate, and we're going to get the shadow set moving up top. But Janowicz is orbital thrown onto the point. They're trying to stall. King swapping over to a Symmetra, gets destroyed. And the Terror Surge from Fake Nevix will solidify this point. Good time bank here for GassT3. That's 2:11 left on the clock. Trasfuji, thank you for the follow.
Switching sides.
See, all right. Putting the chatter in. Trying to put a little psychic damage down on King. Ends up 13-3. They're on that attack. King 10-3. No slouch.
Ready for battle.
After that initial blade from King, Baxter did not die for the rest of the map, by the way. 10-1 down there. Mezzinity, I appreciate the follow. And we talk about how, the backline of GT3 was really leaning into that sustain with the Baptiste Juno. They are going to keep that coming out on the defense.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Oh, Boomstocks is also on holiday. Hammer Kick or Zeroid? Zeroid. I hope you're enjoying your holiday, Boomstocks. Hey, anyway, you should still go follow Boomstocks. Either way. Either way, go follow Boomstocks if you haven't already. Watch for the flank here from Havoc. Just sneakily hiding underneath. Comes out onto the Bastion. Oh, that's an ideal target. But look at all the peel. Havoc was literal one when they got that shadow step up. That was so darn close. Oh, and I love the response. I love the Ryan Bastion response. This is amazing. King, you want to talk about full leaning into matching the sip. We saw the trash talk from Siva. And King is like, you want to see who's the best sim? Let's go. Let's go. I will melt through your Orisa, teleport into your backline. Here comes Croc, speed and throw. I mean, pulling out the bumper skin, no less. Pulling out the bumper rind. With the hard light hammer. You don't see the hard light hammer very often. Wheels down here for Zoro. Jonowich is dead right out of the gate, though. This is going to prompt disengage. Havoc trying to drop in. It gets caught. Ant Matrix up. Catching. Ooh, I mean, both teams, I think, we're kind of trying to bait. Anomaly ends up bailing on this plan and their own Ant Matrix. Give time, realizing they have the better spot advantage. Zoro wheels down. Here comes the burst of damage. This is going to prompt the sim wall out from Siva. Block it all. King still 10% away from that. Once again, smooth disengage. GassT3 has the answer as far as ultimate for the second time in a row, but neither team able really to get a leg up. Now watch for the sim barrier to come back in. Immediately thrown on the field. Baxter's going to throw in the orbital ray, perfectly countered by the sound barrier. So far, this is flowchart. Solo Shatter lands on to Siva, but the immortality field is still to keep him alive. Fake Nevix countered with that Terror Surge, and Crux was able to follow up. Now the Bastion comes in over the top, and EGS is landing the shots. Oh, it's a battle of the brawl on Circuit Royale. Check it out. Jonowich was chasing. We aren't going to get the cap. In 352. This is much too early for a stream. It is entirely too early. But it's because we have a lot of matches today, Maddie. We have your upper bracket quarterfinals, upper bracket semifinals, and lower bracket round 1 for both regions all happening today. Honestly. Oh, Death Blossom is going to destroy everyone. No way. Havoc gets the ace. Havoc gets the ace. Just sneaks in. King even drops the goat in chat. Oh my goodness. Respect. Respect. That was, I mean, when was the last time you saw a 5K Death, I mean, it was a 4K Death Blossom with a follow-up, but still, I'm calling it a 5K Death Blossom. Oh, we're trying to sneak underneath, but Siva is, I guess, counter TP'd on to EGS. The rest of Anomaly able to get out. 2:41 on the clock. The entire lobby still reeling from the 5K Death Blossom. Shadow Step. Big draw in from GassT3, and they drop that amplification matrix just at the final moment. Now have a photon barrier to try to follow up on this. Uncharacteristic holdback here from GassT3. They do not pursue the aggression to try to layer in more ults. Baxter, I think, still trying to catch up on that orbital ray, perhaps. As you see, Baxter comes in over the top, trying to throw in some big torpedoes to help get him there, but Havoc has already fallen. Big advantage is now we've got 4 ultimates coming up online and a swift disengage here from GassT3. Setting Crocs up on the other side. Earthshatter at the ready. That flank has been read. King will get out. Teleport all the way over to the point. There's the teleport in with the Terror Surge from the other side. The teleport play from Anomaly gets completely thwarted. They're able to get the photon barrier onto the battlefield, but not much else. Good cleanup. Here from Fake Nevix and the rest of GassT3. Yeah, teleporter's behind them. I was wondering where it was. Sound barrier, Earth Shatter, both thrown in though. And this is going to give Anomaly a massive edge in this fight. There's, once again, another clever flank play attempted there from GassT3, but this one got sniffed out. I was looking that whole time, I was like, where's Siva's teleporter? I know it's got to be in a cheeky spot. Where is Siva's teleporter?
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Anomaly had the same thought. Teleport in, but the pin from the backline kidnaps Nevix. Zoro Death Blossom was inside the hotel where we had a push from Zoro and Jonowich. Now we're down to a 2v2? It was a 2v2, but Havoc bailed. Fake Nevix died on cart. Havoc lurking. Just a wolf spider waiting to ambush, but the teleporter can kind of screw that up. Havoc's gonna run and try to take care of the backline. Meanwhile, let's go check on this high ground. Oh, the drop down. And a disengage there from Anomaly. Low health bars, but everybody's able to get out in one piece, at least for now. Black going on the side. Let's check in on that teleport. Ooh, okay. I thought Zoro might have been still stuck in there, but it looked like King was able to get him out. Now this Deadeye popped down low. This is gonna eat a spear. Terra Surge combo. Immediately throw down. Teleport successful from King. They're able to get out. You see Siva tried to follow up on that. It gets destroyed. So neither team with a teleporter here for a few seconds. Amplification Matrix just as the Team Anomaly rounds the corner. Good shots from EGS. Pick up the tank. Zoro falls up, killing Linrax. I like the icons in here because it'll show us where the teleporters are. This is Havoc bouncing it on this left-hand side. 71% towards the Death Blossom. Trying to get in behind the defense, but everybody from Anomaly heads up to this high ground. You've got a shatter available for Crocs. Jodowich with the sound barrier. Gonna get pinned down to the bottom. The 180 shatter immediately takes Siva down. Huge play. In the ambush is good. Baxter's able to get the orbital right into the battle, though, despite the swings from Crocs. Zoro finds Baxter. Crocs shielded up, keeping King behind that precious barrier. And Zoro's Deadeye from the high ground will finish off Havoc and Fake Nevix. This is looking like a cap. I don't see any ults to cheat this with. Havoc was not able to get that Death Blossom into the fight. But it's a massive time bank disparagement favoring GassT3.
Score 3-3. Initiating match.
Now, Anomaly kept it a lot closer on the attack. I mean, it feels like Anomaly won more team fights on that attack by a considerable margin. Obviously, fewer deaths across the board. That wasn't the case when they went on the attack.
Ready for battle.
Claws, thank you for the follow. No Reinhardt this time around.
2, 1.
A little bit less cheeky approach. More conventional, going back into the map Juno, but with the Eraser here alongside everything else. Slows down play a little bit. Keep an eye on a Siva teleporter. As GassT3 or they love to set up this ambush, although they do have the sim turrets set up just behind this bridge. Indicated they do want to create a kill box here. There's the teleporters can go up to the high ground. And you can see Havoc kind of positioned up here, but we'll get forced off. Zoro's able to move in. Love the swap onto the cast, by the way. Really, really advantageous against the Reaper. I mean, it is. Consistent damage, easy shot. Zoro hits those. Sliding in. Xenophi Media, thank you for the follow. When you see the cast roll aggressively like that, you know they're failing. They're using the combat roll just for the movement, despite how important that cooldown is for the damage mitigation. Jab spin, forced out. Crocs being judicious with the fortify. Just trusting in the healers to keep them topped up. Don't want to pop that precious gold just yet. Deadeye gonna get Linrex down to 1. Ant Matrix and Immortality Field have been popped in from the back. Havoc has moved in down low, right on top. Trying to devalue the Ant Matrix on the other side, but it is too low. Has to swift step away. Shadow Step that is. Photon Barrier thrown onto the point with the Terra Surge. And that finishes off the fight. The big hole from GassT3 not giving up that 4th point.
3-3. Switching sides. Initiating match. Ready for battle.
Seavart continuing with the psychic warfare. We see yet another swap. This is a wholesale swap out of Anomaly coming onto this defense, moving into the Lucio Carry Hazard composition, going on to the Tracer. Very different look. And Crocs is just getting right in their face. Crocs walked up and said hello. They know Crocs is here. Trying to force some aggro. Fake Nevix isn't buying it. Just goes right to cart, get point pressure, try to start moving up towards that first corner. Teleport across. EGS on that high ground. Havoc with the Shadow Step, close the gap here. Looking to run the corner, see if they can get on top of this tank. Merges out, but a good read here out of Anomaly. And they're going to disengage from this corner, re-engaging back onto Crocs, onto Havoc. Good block by the wall. Havoc is able to Shadow Step away. I think just kind of fooled Crocs for a second. Didn't go as far as Crocs thought they did, but Crocs comes back to find them. We got a little tiny Overwatch in the room. Crocs' block able to hold on. Baxter actually finishes off Crocs. Linrex and Baxter coming up with 2 important trades in this fight. The backline of GassT3 might have given them enough room to start getting this cart moving. There's a re-engage as Croxing has returned alongside Zoro. Pulse won't land. Oh, but the bolo shot does. Baxter take it down to the Terror Surge. Ooh, not even close. Everybody stacked on cart. King is able to find access through the statue, working around. Trying to just compress down onto GassT3. Shadow Step up top for Havoc, and they're able to find Zoro with that. Concerning Rush invested over the point from this defense of Anomaly. The timing on that, I mean, you just force everyone to kind of reset. Not high value there for EGS, but I understand it. You're looking to get Zoro and your own reinforcements back in this fight. Amplification Matrix is going to buy corner. Good disengage from Anomaly. You do have King here alongside Croc, so a couple people players who can touch. Downpour thrown in, and teleporter not in time from CeeLo. Ooh, actually gets him out even though they were rooted. But Linrex does not escape. There's a double investment layered alongside the sound barrier. It's a good hold and a big stop from Anomaly with 43 seconds to go. Lost come back in this fight with. Fake Nemix is able to force everybody off the point and kill one on the point, I believe, with that Terror Surge to end the extra innings attack there from Anomaly. Gonna get teleported into the backline, lands a spear on the Crocs. Havoc shadow stepping across the way, does not have that important cooldown. Zoro tries to land the bullet, but can't quite hit it. The Photon Barrier is there, the Death Blossom to clean off the point. And GassT3 will tie us up as they take Circuit Royale. There it is, the 5K Death Blossom. Sorry, I was answering a DM. My bad. I know. I can only like do one thing at a time. I said I got a DM, like my brain just goes, Meh. Like I didn't even look. I owe GassT3 a point here. Come on. We are gonna get that sim ban. Colosseo picked here from Anomaly. Whoa, I didn't even change the map number on that one, did I? It was a Lucio ban. There from GassT3. Kenobi reached out to me. King of Contenders China, King of Collegiate. You want to say the Confucius of Collegiate? Oh, what a go. What an absolute legend of Tier 2 Overwatch. Anyway, so I was communicating, we're casting together on Sunday for the grand finals here for EMEA Master Division. And so we were just communicating a lot about that. I was letting her know, hey, like I'm live right now, like running through some of these matches. Like feel free to, if you want to take notes or even come join me, like you're welcome. Anyway, so I was talking to Kenobi for a minute. Sorry. Let's get into Colosseo here. I think we got all your info set. I think I got everything right this time. I even got the map on the right number this time. We're ready for it. Let's get into it. Tie game. Heading into map 3. Who would have thought? GassT3 coming back in a big way there in Circuit Royale. With the sim banned out, we're going to get Siva on the tour. King goes back into the Tracer. Tracer with that buff coming through here for season 17, getting reverted back to her previous damage strength. Which, by the way, was only nerfed because of the original bug, right? Although, I guess that wasn't the first time she was nerfed, but... Anyway, coming into Overwatch 2, it was a bug that caused them to nerf her damage. The Torb, obviously, was one of the first anti-hazard picks. It was one of the first counters the community really leaned into to help fend off the high damage output and high aggression of the hazard. Crocs was one of the first that felt like to really master this hero as well. I mean, one of the strong points back when they were on Frost Tails, able to get Frost Tails into OWCS. Although, despite early picks here, I mean, this is the bloodbath of an opening fight. This is like, when two heavyweights are just punching each other, like all haymakers, no blocking. That was just pure, unadulterated offense from both sides. The dust settles, and Anomaly end up with control of TS1. We're getting the Curie Juno backline. I always find it intriguing. Because it feels to me like these two want to have different objectives, but they actually fulfill, like, they kind of cover each other's weaknesses very, very well. Kitsune Rush now tossed in here to help counter this amplification matrix. And there's what? When you need an ultimate that can cover a lot of ground, good for a fast-moving comp, can't go wrong with an amp matrix. King with 4 in that fight. I meant you can't go wrong with Kitsune Rush. Damn it. That was so close. That was so close to being a good call. Alright, so King on cart. Able to push bot. Zoro just stationed with this long sight line. Havoc creeping in towards coastline, looking for the appropriate time to reconnect with the rest of the team. But nobody registered Crocs! It's Crocs with the ambush. And the ambushers have become the ambushees. Zero finds Stu, clean up the fight. We get another gong of death. Checkpoint. And this TS1 pauses and scratches his ass.
My gift to you.
Alright. It's alright, I'll walk back in for this fight. Damn DEs. And we're getting a lot of ultimates here, too. Zoro's Deadeye, I believe, found one before they got popped, if I saw that correctly. Orbital thrown in. Crocs negates a lot of the damage, but now Havoc drops over the Kitsune Rush with the Death Blossom, forcing all of Anomaly out of that valuable ultimate. Talk about just how strong it is with this composition. Well, Havoc just brought it to its knees. That was double support ults, Deadeye. Maybe even a pulse bomb thrown into that fight, and Anomaly is still have to take the L on it. There's the speed ring. Move forward. Ant Matrix to back it up. Crocs is not able to disengage.
Pushing the barricade.
Good catch from Havoc there to deny the escape. Now it's just a matter of Anomaly just trying to hang on, not give up this space before Crocs gets back into this fight. Hazard gets back quick. There he is. You have Havoc positioned. Okay, Havoc's gonna go back down to the lower. I always forget about that little tunnel now. Typically, it's the Hazard who walls other people in. This time, just gets completely blocked themselves. Donut-walled into that room with 4 players from GassT3. And once again, Crocs just gets melted. First thing out of the fight, rest of the team just has to stand and watch. Crocs has now returned. We are going to get a recontest here. Orbital Ray thrown onto the point to help survive through the downpour. Zoro is the one who actually ends up falling, trying to drop in Enjoy, but it turns out a Reaper in an Orbital is a powerful thing to contend with. GassT3 with the equalizer. Get their own checkpoint online. Very close to that line of victory, or the lead at least. Rotation down low, Croc swapping over to Orisa, immediately running in with the speed ring and a concern they rush to back him up. Well placed as it goes right over this checkpoint, but Terror Surge from Fake Nevix catches a couple players as they try to pull out of that small room. Still low. Fake Nevix will not survive through that, and Zoro's able to find Linrax cutting off the knees of this comp. Good push from GassT3, but they're unable to claim the lead. Still plenty of time, and it's a lot closer than it was 2 minutes ago. A mere 5 meters separating these two teams. Teleport in. One of the Death Blossom had to favor a good positioning. Again, it doesn't even force EGS to turn around. EGS trying to keep everybody along the front line. There's the Death Blossom. Finding 3! Havoc hits a big one again. Damage had already been done, but you get a swift cleanup on the back of that, buying a lot of space. And we'll get the spot right back to the checkpoint. Also maintaining close spawns, importantly, for GassT3. Zoro's able to find one as the Orbital Ray has been tossed in from the high ground. Rolls down low, has a goal to reset in their face. The flash, the fan, the roll, everything! Oh, you know what? You did it off. You did it off, Zoro. You eventually just rolled into some lava. But you get a couple picks. You draw Nevrix's aggro for the fight while the rest of your team cleans up. Back and forth continues. 3 minutes remain. Croc's protecting that right hallway. Does force cooldowns out of Havoc. Knows they have some time. It's going to move in with the Terror Surge, try to take advantage. Immortality will keep somebody alive, but there's still low health bars to contend with. Swift step in. EGS able to pile on the damage. Gets back. You're actually meant to go to EGS Bob. I'm sorry, EGS. I meant to get that. I knew you were about to get a kill. Here, we'll get this one. Oh, Janowicz robs it. Good fight out of Anomaly. They will take the bot. Finally, kind of tilt the balance a little bit. This one has been teetering for the past 2.5 minutes. And Crocs with the big Terror Surge. Good read. Forces Havoc into a vulnerable position. Now Havoc's trying to shadow step back in behind everybody. Deadeye up from Zoro. Gets interrupted. Terror Surge rushed in from Nevix. That's going to pick up EGS just before they hit that low ground. Give me my pop. Janowicz answers. By the way, I've had a King Forest swap at some point. Still lingering in. You gotta get the barrage in. Puts all those rockets in the back of Fake Nevix. Finds Linrax with a direct. Oh, and an Anomaly. Kind of acted like they were wounded. Oh, it was just a bait. It was just a bait. They kick off the limp like they're in Usual Suspects. Murder like Kaiser Sose. Havoc wants to return. Patiently waiting in the back line. Drop down with the Death Blossom into the continuing rush, but everybody reads it. Just ducks out of the way. Finds cover. A very deep Cox is able to fight Steve R with that Terror Surge. Has that opened up enough? Orbital thrown onto the point. Zoro's about to fight Fake Nevix. Turns around. Finds a shot on the Linrax as well. And this is going to be Anomaly pushing this all the way home. Less than 5 meters. Nobody fast to get the touch. Havoc is going to try to make it. Does not. Wait, does. It looked like the bot stopped. That didn't cap? That didn't cap? That's .01. That's .01. There's no way that may be less than .01. We got to fight, but 2 kills already in favor of Anomaly. Trying to hang on. It's Crocs back on the Doomfist. Catches Havoc as they try to shadow step away, and then hits Baxter with a big right hook. And that is the cap. GassT3 keeping this one very close. But Anomaly edge out Colosseo to take match point. Ducky with the sub. Thank you so much for the tier 1. With the prime, I mean. Thank you so much. Huge, huge, huge. All right. Anomaly take the lead on that one. Very close map. Wait, that's map 2. Give me map 3 stats. Well, here, you know what? Let's make sure we get our bad end. King's Row pick. GassT3 going back on the attack and banning out the Cassidy there from underneath Zoro. Putting some respect on Zoro. Trying to ban out. That swap. What a big swap onto the Cass. Let's look at some stats there from map 3. Okay, yeah, stat card not nearly as close as that one felt in game. Not nearly as close as the meterage was there for a while. EGS 21-3 out of the back line. Look at the damage. Look at the damage output and I mean of EGS versus any other support. My God. And that's what you want to see from your BAP. That's the power of that Baptiste. Or, yeah, excuse me, EGS was on the carry through that one. EGS was on the carry through that one. Even more impressive. Let's see. It was a BAP, speaking of, it was a BAP banned out here from Anomaly as we get ready to head into Kings. All right. Thank you, copyright, for the music, but you're clashing. It's time for you to go. Let's get into Kings. I owe you a bad.
The first time I flew this suit, I crashed. I don't crash anymore.
King on the far. This is one of the heroes I first remember really excelling with and really making a name for themselves with. You know, I mean, back in Contenders days. Oh, that was the Cobra Widowmaker. Oh, I wanted to see that skin. Yeah, we'll see it in action. Anyway. Also kind of surprised Havoc doesn't have the mythic weapons. Come on now. Alright, so we're getting the Kiri Juno once again. High ground hold from Crocs and Anomaly. Shadow step in and try to help that out. Good job from Siva. Just force Crocs out and just allows Fake Nevix to move in and grab some point position. Now, with no Tracer and Crocs on a hazard, it's an interesting question of who goes and touches. I mean, it has to be Crocs, but you have to play around that block. And you only get short bursts of time on the point. And you sacrifice not only block, but the health bar Crocs to make it happen. A lot of damage in, but a great wall isolates Nevix from their inhalers. And, I mean, that one cooldown from Crocs creates a beautiful mismatch amidst that fight. And Anomaly toe that line very, very nicely. They do give up one tick, but they don't give up the second tick, importantly. Replay codes are being wiped on the 8th. Okay, good to know. Good to know. I'm going to try to get whatever matches I'm in lobby for this weekend up and posted on Monday. We probably will have... actually, I won't have expert matches on Monday, but we'll talk about that later. At least not for EMEA. Early ultimates is Anomaly. Been able to build them up for Crocs, though, sticking around a little too long. Havoc's going to shadow step in for the finish behind the phone booth. No Clark Kent routine for Crocs all that one.
Objective lost. Escort the payload.
By the way, respect for the classics, if you understand the phone booth Clark Kent reference. Respect for the classics. I know you get that Superman, but you get the phone booth part of it all. Consumer Rush can be difficult to use here. Not a whole lot of options as far as where. And so, I mean, right around the corner, you're able to find too. But this is what I was concerned about. King with the barrage over the top, but gets just knifed right out of it. The spear from Nevix. Able to keep GassT3 moving forward here through the streets.
Under my protection.
Now after fighting value with that Kitsune Rush. Oh, I was gonna say, Havoc needs to get in and use his Death Blossom. And it's gonna be just Nevix with the Terror Surge. Nothing to really combo with it, with Havoc falling early in that fight. So we're looking at the disengage. You see using the teleporter just to get the heck out of dodge. And right now, GassT3 just trying to get out clean. The wall from Crocs looking to pursue. They don't find what they want and have to use their own Suzu and speed to get out. Sorry, I was trying to go to some Zoro Pump. Oh, beautiful shot on the Baxter. Havoc will not get that Death Blossom out. Zoro was way too on top of that one. And that was, I mean, a couple of very important ults invested there from GassT3. And then gets stopped at the worst possible spot on this map. Such a long run back here on Kings. You are coming back with a Photon Barrier, and I will say, GassT3 play around their Photon Barrier extremely, extremely well. The whole team teleports to the ally. Photon Barrier over the point. There you go. They're able to move in and use that to kind of embed themselves, get some good positioning, try to get Havoc and Siva set up. Havoc protecting the back alley, not allowing the flank to come through, or at least keeping it slow and long enough for Nevix to pick up a couple of kills on the front line. Very nice play. Using just the Photon Barrier, GassT3 move into the Foundry. Really nicely done. Teleport everybody across. Keep Havoc there to protect any flank around the backside where Anomaly we're trying to send 3. You leave Crocs and Zoro, I believe it was. They've been Crocs and EGS by themselves in a 4v2. I mean, created by GassT3. Very nicely played. Now Kitsune Rush available. Crocs is already in a bad spot. That Kitsune Rush is not going to help matters. But the downpour and the huge sound barrier land over the top. Zoro's able to make good on that. Picks up one already. Where GassT3 thought they had Crocs isolated and sandwiched, it turns into a tomb for the Tier 3 squad. Oh, I didn't close spreads from Colosseo. Shit, my bad. There you go. Y'all get quick threads here for King. Sorry. Kitsune rush. Now toss it from the defense. King's going to throw a pulse into that corner. Overclock. There was a lot of ultimates. If I win here from the defense, I don't think it was as clean as they like. A couple trades come through, including a kill on the Crocs, but I don't think it's going to matter in the end. This defense should stabilize. You can see reinforcement showing up. Even Jonowich going back there. Or it was one of the ones killed, actually. We are going to look for a quick re-engage here from GassT3. They're trying to get back on top before this defense can kind of get its feet planted. Good push and pull there out of Anomaly. I think they kind of faked their turn and then backed away, anticipating the counterpunch. Where Siva teleports in, throws a photon barrier around this corner. Very nicely placed. GassT3 are kind of able to huddle up on this important corner, and now they're investing the orbital raid, kind of double down on taking this precious space away. Croc's waiting out to get that downpour all alive, but you're not going to have too long to wait. This map's going to get away from you. Shadow step out of GassT3, moves to the side to keep King off of the flank. But Zora's able to pick up a kill. Meanwhile, Terra Surge thrown onto the point. He's going to trade out. This is a Kitsune rush thrown in from the backline, and things have gotten awkward as GassT3's done a good job of flipping this map around. Croc's no longer in the fight. Neither is Jonowich. And GassT3 will clean off those two players from the back before the spawns come through, creating the sandwich. This allows for GassT3 point all guns forward, try to get this cap. That's a big spear. I don't think Crocs is coming back from that one. And that takes the stall out of the fight. Nice final push in OT here from GassT3 to get that third point.
0 to 3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Zero 16-3, leading Anomaly in damage. Nemix on the Orisa does have lobby gold, though. And oh, actually, Zoro, excuse me. I didn't even... Zoro. They're 8,500.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, that's right. Wait, that was right. Yeah. Brain, doing things. Need more tea. Zoro with a huge impact is the point there. After making this swap over to the Sojourn for the first time today.
The Hashimoto are massive.
A key reason that we're not seeing any more time in the bank here for GassT3. Let's check out our defensive setup. Looks like just a little check turret there at the choke, with Havoc to hold hotel alongside Linrax.
2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective
All right, Croc's favoring the stability and point presence here of the Orisa. Let me try to just muscle the way onto this. We do have the King Sim, so we are going to get Sim on the attack here. Well, you know, which we talked about, we even heard on the OWCS broadcast about how much more meta Sim has become and how difficult it can be to play. We've been getting our fill of it in this match today, haven't we, friends? Trying to just build up that beam against the Orisa. Crocs is able to fight Steve Hart and take the counterpoint out of the fight. This is going to be a one and done, and it's just a matter of how clean a fight this is going to be. And that spear right through the side of Havoc's dome makes it a nice, clean team kill. 0 casualties for Anomaly on that push.
Stop the payload.
Easy prey.
Looking at a Kitsune rush here for this next fight. We've seen some clever setups out of GassT3, you know, playing around what feels like pretty limited options here on King's Row. This time they're going to send Nevix, look like by themselves, and Zoro picks up the flank, finding Seavard, I believe, moved up through that top left-hand side. Havoc going to get into the back line. He's able to shadow step out of, Wraith Form, out of the damage from that bolt that could have been fatal. But King is able to melt through, not just Baxter, but Nevix as well. Leaving Havoc alone. This is going to be Jonowich going back to try to protect Zoro. They know Havoc's back there. Continuing rushing EGS. Nevix is the one getting aggressive with the Terra Surge. Easily teleported out of. King right back on the case. And Nevix looking very low on health. That bolo shot was enormous there out of Zoro. He's able to find a kill out of Seavar with it, pulled everybody together. Where Crocs and King just followed with enormous damage into the bunched up GassT3 defense. Big play from Zoro. 5 minutes plus on the bank. Now, consider air rush as well as a, Death Blossom as well. Try to take this point back. Ooh, so he'll run down on Jonowich. Jonowich is able to escape up to the top side. Meanwhile, Zoro picks up that kill. Windwrax goes in way too deep. I don't know. What's your Juno doing up there? I guess the die on cart call looking for trades at that point. But that felt like it was still, you're still at a 4v4, 4v5? It felt early for, the Juno to be running up that far looking for trades. But hey, Anomaly will take it. They get the early pick. Now they're set up on this high ground. Teleport across to circumvent said high ground. Continue to rush. They're out of Baxter. Havoc's able to Death Blossom picking up Jonowich, but with EGS and Zoro kind of stationed up on that side, they had that flank covered. Now, Nevix is low. EGS with a beautiful headshot to find that kill. Just looking to keep a low Crocs topped up. Has a Kitsune Rush here to finish off this point. Crocs is going to move forward. Jonowich gets popped, but Havoc won't last long after that. King is going to seal up this door, and this is going to be an enormous time bank. 3:44 on the clock, and the best GassT3 can hope for is a draw here in Kings.
Score double kill. Initiating match. Ready for battle.
I got stuck on the catwalk. Wait, what are you stuck on, you stupid camera? There you go. GassT3 try to avoid lower bracket force on map 4. Map 5, excuse me.
5, 4,
But that means a perfect full hold for 3 minutes and 43 seconds. Corner check from Crocs. Havoc actually waiting up top. Opening kill from Seavar. Ooh, where was Seavar? Seavar positioned down in a hotel. I think just ambush. Crash trying to push back in. He's Javelin. Which slows the roll. Not able to kind of pursue Siva. They were hoping to catch Siva there. Ooh, keep an eye on that far side. Havoc still holding his high ground. Zoro trading shots across that direction to try to control this outer lane. Now with Zoro control, they're able to start putting bolts everywhere across this map. Good teleport has gotten Crocs into the house. GassT3 slowly but surely losing their grip on this defense. There's a push from Faction, just runs up to try to converge with Havoc. See if they can get something onto this back line. They will get forced away. Havoc is able to make it back to the Mega. Meanwhile, King is just teleported all the way across the map. They're looking to surround this point. Janowicz and Zoro are able to keep Havoc at bay. A couple of shots to take aim. And eventually we'll find Steve Art and avoid Havoc simultaneously. Continue to rush back onto the point where Crocs is going to muscle through. Fake Nevix is low. A desperate terror surge started at the end. But it's going to be the Salamburger and celebration. And GG's in the chat. This Anomaly will take your upper bracket quarterfinals. Move on to semis. Win your first playoff match of Season 5.
Play of the game.
We get the Zoro player of the game. Dominant map 4. Once again, seeing EGS really 37 assists. Once again, just putting out more damage than any support by a significant margin there. 30% more damage than the next person that's even close, which would have been Baxter there. And that was consistent across the board. It's consistent all day long. I mean, look at almost 13k damage there on Circuit Royale. Nearly 50% more damage. It was a little quieter in the first map compared to their counterpart, but not compared to the opposition support line there on Ilios. EGS having some massive input today. I think EGS might be your player of the match. Crocs spectacular as always. It's hard, but Crocs got perfect through Ilios. 23-0 there in Ilios. And is your Elim leader, I think, through almost every map. Is it every map? 30 King takes it. King takes it there on Circuit Royale. Otherwise, Crocs was your Elim leader throughout the day. Ooh, actually, King took it on Ilios as well by 1. Yeah, player of the match, EGS here. Big congrats. GG's.